Hi, I'm Kathy Henry, and I am a licensed clinical social worker in the Indianapolis area, and I am proud to work for Healing Hearts of Indy. Today, I would like to talk about the prevalence of addiction in our culture. Addiction is rampant these days. There are so many different ways that we can be addicted to different things that it's almost commonplace. We all have some sort of addictive type behaviors. And when I talk about that, what I mean is something that we use to distract ourselves, to keep us from being able to move forward. I think the true definition of an addiction or a compulsion maybe is when we continue to do something that we know is bad for us despite the negative consequences that come from it. So, in effect, you could say overeating is an addiction. When we are looking at Facebook all the time, when we are on our phones texting and not connecting with people, video games have become a huge addiction where people just spend hours and hours a day on their video games, involving in their video games, and they are not doing some of the things that would help them move forward in their lives. There certainly has been a huge increase in sex addiction, and that's evidenced by the number of extramarital affairs and acting out in terms of different pornographic sites or meetups or whatever. So it's just such a huge array of option in our culture for us to be addicted to something. And again, what I mean by that is using something in an unhealthy way in order to kind of help us not be in touch with the feelings of what's going on in our lives. So I wanted to talk about, number one, kind of raise awareness of addiction in our culture. And we see it all the time in our offices when people come in and they are talking about the different problems that they're having in their lives. We are really witnessing a great number of addictive type behavior in people. Now, they may not be the type of addiction that gets people fired and losing their homes and things like that, like alcohol and gambling and so forth that we've seen so much of, but they're much more minor and, may I just say, socially acceptable addictions that we are witnessing in our offices every single day. So I wanted to raise awareness. And number two, I wanted to talk about a lot of times what we do and when we realize that we're doing something that is unhealthy for us, and we focus on trying to control that addictive behavior. So I'm just going to stop overeating, or I'm going to stop drinking, or I'm going to get off of Facebook. I've seen people do that. Or I'm not going to view porn anymore, whatever it is. And what we see is that when we are just trying to focus on controlling the addiction, we're really working on it at a very surface level, and there's very little progress that is made. We see a lot of failure in that respect. And so what we do in our offices instead is we are trying to help focus on what is driving that addiction, what is causing the need to you wanting to zone out or not be intimate, what's driving the late night overeating even though you've sworn yourself to a new diet 14 times this year. What is it that makes you stay late and work harder and do more work even though your family's sitting at home waiting for you? What makes you have an extramarital affair again and again even though you've already hurt your spouse several times? So we've got to get to the root and the base of these addictions instead of just trying to control them at the surface, because you really have so little control over controlling it at the surface. Some people do. They'll be able to just stop smoking cold turkey and go the rest of their lives without smoking, and that's great, but that's a very small percentage of people that can do that. Most of us, we try to stop over and over and over again, whatever the behavior is, and then we, at some point in time, we may have some success for a while, but at some point in time, it springs back and we go to what we know. And so I just, like I said, I wanted to raise awareness, and I wanted to talk about when we are trying to change a behavior or stop an addiction, how we go about trying to solve it. We look down in at the root cause of it instead of looking at the surface. So I hope this has helped inform you a little bit about addiction, and we'd love to help you out if you're struggling with something. So we'd be happy to work with you. Please give us a call. Thank you so much, and have a great day.